What's up, everybody? It's the Chill Scrub coming back at you with another video. I know I haven't been posting lately, and I've been debating this for the longest. Do I want to continue making these kind of videos? Because this is where my heart is, and I am not just a gaming channel. You know, I like to lift weights. I like to, talk about different topics that I think are near and dear to me. And speaking of topics, what I want to talk about is how masculinity is getting beat to death. It is literally getting castrated as the generations go on. There are a few people that are speaking about it. Andrew Tate, May everything works out in his favor. Sneeko, Kevin Samuels, RIP, Fresh and Fit. And I know that masculinity is dying is because every time that people speak on masculinity as a whole, either one or two things happen. Either they get banned outright, they get destroyed by social media platforms, or they end up getting shadow banned and suppressed to the point where their message will not be heard to the masses. And for the longest, I questioned that. I'm like, well, why are we trying to censor the opinions of what we know to be traditionally masculine? And then you look at what social media actually promotes. They promote everything that is very feminine. You know, we live in a society now where playing video games 8 hours a day, crying about your problems on Twitter, being in open relationships as a man, that is considered masculine. If you are silent, stoic, and you want to be a problem solver, you get called toxic or toxic masculinity. You know, we are in the era where we are pushing towards female bosses and female this and female that. And I'm not here to say that being a female, you need to be some kind of weak individual, but at the same time, why do we have to push femininity up while simultaneously knocking down masculinity, right? Not to mention the triple threat which comes with the whole trans movement. And I have this special take that I talked with one of my friends about where I had to mention it. You notice how when it comes down to the trans movement, when you think about it, you never think about a woman turning into a man. You never think about trans men. You normally traditionally think about trans women and how brave and empowering it is for a man to literally mutilate himself, be so psychologically destroyed that he hates his own body and his own masculinity frame so much that he wants to become a woman, right? Something that he could never be. And speaking on that point, I always found it annoying how women sit here and condone this, even though it's to their own detriment, where you have another man speaking for women, because no matter how much that man wants to be a woman or how psychologically he feels like he aligns with women emotionally, he will never become a woman. He will always be a man. And the fact that this is openly promoted through not only social media culture, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, so forth and so forth, even in the FGC video game culture where I originally started my channel from, is being heavily pushed in games like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 7, Tekken 8, so forth and so forth. And this is not healthy, especially when you know the demographic that are playing these games, which are teenagers, kids. They're going to get indoctrinated into this behavior where they feel as though them being a man and wanting to be naturally aggressive, assertive, dominant, that is a problem. A man being dominant now is considered controlling. A man that is sure of himself is arrogant in toxic masculinity. A man that doesn't want to deal with a woman's promiscuity is insecure, right? Anything that they can possibly do to shame a man for something that he feels that is naturally within his right to have a preference to, that is a problem. And hence why I keep saying that masculinity is dying and there's not enough men fighting for it. Me personally, I'm going to fight for it. I made the decision long ago. If my channel never makes it anywhere, I'm not going to compromise my message for a couple of clicks and a couple of views. And I hope that everybody takes that to heart, not only just with YouTube, but just with their life in general. Do not compromise your views and sell your soul just for comfort, right? Because in the end, nobody's winning. I made a video on that, and I'm going to link it, where both sides are getting played. Femininity, masculinity, they're both getting played in the end. And the only person that profits, or the entity that profits, is the government. But going back to masculinity overall and how it is dying, when you have Twitter posts and Instagram posts that are shaming men for taking care of their bodies and getting the phenomenal physique that they actually want, having a six-pack, having nice pectorals, triceps, biceps, quad, hamstrings, the works, the calf muscles, all that. They get shamed for that, knowing that it takes hours upon hours, and it's not just putting the work in, it's the consistency, the dedication, doing it when you don't want to. When that is shamed, right, you know you have a problem. When you know you have a problem where a fat woman being praised gets more liked than a fit man, this is how we know that masculinity is dying. Notice how when a fat man posts, there is no such thing as body positivity, right? As a man, we always have to face the harsh truth of reality, and I'm going to be real here. Women are allowed to be stupid, and I'm not saying that as a misogynistic statement. I'm just saying it as the absolute truth, because nobody wants to say it. Everybody wants to tiptoe and beat around the bush with it. One of the main reasons why masculinity is dying is because women are allowed to be stupid. Women are allowed to sit here and make these astronomical preferences that doesn't exist, which harms both of us in the end, because the man isn't satisfied because he cannot get a woman, or he has to become something that is borderline impossible to get a woman, and the woman becomes miserable because she gets used and abused by the dudes that are already up there. I'm not saying that it's impossible to do, but you can do it. But for the average man, average exists for a reason. Not everybody's going to make it up there, and we all know that, right? So both sides end up angry and bitter and alone because women are allowed to be stupid, and the government cater towards that. A man is not allowed to be stupid. Why do you think in the government court systems where the woman takes the kids, the woman raises the kids to have these mentalities of delusion, where a man will not sit there? I know as a father, I will not sit there and let my son or daughter be delusional about how the world works, right? Not going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that you feel the exact same way about your children. You're not going to let them walk out there not armed with knowledge about how to handle the world. And that's the reason why masculinity is fucking dead, and it's fucking needed. But here's the biggest point I want to make while I'm making my closing thoughts in this video. Society and the government wants masculinity to die. When you have weak men and you have women that are buying into the system that causes their own destruction, it makes it easier to make a weaker generation. It's easier. You know, when a woman is dependent on the government and they're going to buy into whatever the government says, you raise a weak generation without the man. The man is not going to allow his children to be misinformed. They're not going to allow them to make ill decisions. It's just not going to happen. But the thing about it is, both sides are too stupid to realize that. Men understand that. Women will not understand that, because the thing about it is, men, we get instant consequences for being stupid. Women get delayed consequences. So when they hit their 35s, their 40s, when the looks start slowing down and they start sagging and cellulite, that's when the consequences hit them, and they realize that they spent the majority of their best years being absolutely retarded. As a man, we don't have the time to do that. We have to work hard, and we pay dearly for making mistakes early in our 20s. I am a prime example of that, and that's why I'm trying to get my life together now. And I pray, and I want every man to do so. Do not let these video games ruin your life. Do not let these women ruin your life. Do not let society tell you that being a man is bad. Do not let these weirdos tell you that working out and getting in the best shape that you possibly can is a bad thing. Do not let these people discourage you from being you. Being what you innately know is right, and being a man. Do not let this weird community and society and these trans people and all this other nonsense to tell you otherwise. Do what you know is right. You work hard. You do what is necessary to provide for you, and if you have a family, provide for your family, and arm your children and yourself with more knowledge, and be aware of what's going on. Be more self-aware. But that is my overall statements on why masculinity is dying. I want it to come back. You know, I have a weird saying that I say we need to bring back bullying again. We need people to, you know, face the harsh truth of reality and stop trying to shield people from everything. But that's all I have to say for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, man. I will be posting again soon. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.